How are you coping today? I can see that there is a storm in your 8th house. Talk to me. Come on, we're going to get through it. We're going to pick ourselves up and we're going to surrender, okay? I know. When it comes to the 8th house, you all have your own views. Put your views in the comments. I'm going to say love, marriage, vows, oaths, commitments, long-term stability, true love, true groundedness in your chakras, all of your chakras. It's the 8th. So it's past this crown chakra. It's the embodiment of those 7 chakras whole. It's a whole viscapiscus with another person. It's unity and love. It's coming out of the 5th dimension and moving into the 7th dimension, which is the true epitome of love, in my opinion. And it's about that wavering between love and light with absolute unity and peace and clarity in your mind. So I'm looking at a relationship situation. I'm looking at real difficult, stormy relationships. So we're going to dive in, okay? Whilst I shuffle, please take the time to just let your mind go. Turn your neck around, yeah? How your shoulders doing? Roll your shoulders back, roll your shoulders forward. Give your arms a little Mexican wave. Shake the energy up. Your chi is trapped in your upper body. Your neck's tight. Your throat chakra's got problems. Oh dear, your crown could really do with a real deep frequency, deep dive, a crown chakra deep dive, yeah? I will link a crown chakra frequency below, okay? Okay, I just shuffled, and as I did, loads of cards have come out. I'm looking at a masculine and feminine energy. So basically this is about you and your internal. This may relate to an ex, a relationship you're in, someone you're letting go of. Could be related to a passed on loved one in spirit as well, okay? But the card coming out at the bottom of the deck for this is unrequited love. Now that's just the reading that was out yesterday, which was titled How Are You Feeling? A deep dive into ascension for you. So now we've deep dived into ascension yesterday, but today, now we're looking at some shadow in that relationship you have with others and self. This is healing, because I can see straight away communications in reverse. There's been a lack of communication in a relationship. There's been a lack of giving and receiving, equal give and take in a relationship. There's been some kind of loss, some kind of defeat, and you want to break that cycle of suffering in silence. You don't want to suffer in silence anymore. The darker side of the connection, this is the stuff that's the moon energy shrouded from you. What you can't really see that's been affecting you, okay, is you've been suffering in silence. You've been not speaking up about how you're really feeling about love, and you haven't really been owning the love that you want in your life. You know, when you don't want to really take full responsibility for what you don't have or what you want, you rather sometimes put your head in the sand and say, I'm really lonely, I'm really upset, I really loved that person. Sometimes you fall in love, become attached, find something special in someone else, and you didn't really plan on feeling that way. Yeah, you've met someone, you've had a relationship with someone that didn't work out, wasn't reciprocal. You didn't open up about how much you love that person. The communication wasn't there. There's been heartbreak because of this, and you felt like you've lost, and you've carried a burden because of that. When there could have been unity, which is on your mind, you felt totally imprisoned by not speaking up. But you want to break free of that situation, and you want a brand new beginning. You want a rebirth in a connection that isn't karmic, and it's a connection where you can truly be you and trust your intuition. You've got a lot of regret, I see, yeah? A lot of regret. I'm trying to watch what I say here as well, because I can see you've gone through a lot of irritation, really being pissed off, really being heartbroken, heartbreak that you would never dare speak on. There's nothing worse than, I mean, being heartbroken is more than enough without then not being able to speak on that heartbreak with anyone, and then having to go on and act like you're okay when you're not. You know, have you ever loved someone in secret, and then it's even a secret to yourself? You didn't really know that. There's something you never really brought to the conscious mind. So you didn't even let yourself think about that person in a loving way or in a romantic way. You wouldn't let yourself even surrender to this love. But then either way, it's kept cropping up in your reality, and now it's right in front of your face, and it's torn you down, and it's put you in shadow, because actually the truth is you're in love. You've been in love. What I think is so beautiful and powerful about this reading is we're really maturing on this channel and really growing up as light beings, because this is the first time ever in a reading I'm going, we're embarrassed about love. What kind of situations have we been put in the past? What kind of situations have we seen growing up that has made us be embarrassed to be in love? When love is one of the most beautiful things in the world, if not the most beautiful thing in the world, is to be in love, is to have love to give. But you get cheated on, you get lied to, you get hurt, abused, betrayed, broken-hearted, then love becomes shameful, love becomes sin, love becomes wrong, love becomes evil, love becomes debilitating, love becomes narcissistic, love becomes all of these things that love could never be. Because love is love, that's it. There are inferences and things that impact on love. Our feelings, our love languages, our communication styles. There's layers that come with love. Love is a lesson we have to learn. Love is a situation, a scenario that we have to study, work through and experience for ourselves. That's why so many of us fall on our faces and have heartbreaks, because love isn't something that you find overnight that lasts forever. Love is something that you find inside of yourself, and you exude externally, attracting that vibration back to you through lesson and prophecy and dedication to understanding love in all of its variances. You love your children, you love your parents, you love your colleagues, you love your friends, you love your husband, you love your wife, you love this TV show, you love this food, you love that idea. Different ideologies of love exist. Love is not on one frequency, and that's when it gets tough. Because we're all battling with this our dream frequency, the frequency we believe is the best frequency for love that could ever be, which becomes an impossible dream that we can never quite reach. And then now we're sitting in the 5D wishing and dreaming for a love that we have never experienced, and we don't even know if it exists. So many of us longing for a love we've never had, and we don't know if that ever exists, right? Let's dive in. Let's dive into a deep story, okay? About you and this connection. Death card. It's over. It's done. Never again in your life will you have to go through a low vibrational loving connection like you did in the past, yeah? You are aligned to your destiny now. You are aligned to your truest spiritual counterpart. You found yourself. So whatever you attract now is going to be so much more high vibrational. Well done. In the past, there was a lot of indifferences. So religion, race, age, pay packet, personality, or you've been looking for all of these things in a relationship that have just created imbalances for you. And they've played out in your relationship because you could have been too demanding. They have to be this size. They have to look this way. They have to make this much money. They have to do this for me. They have to do that for me. That person's not good enough. That person is this. I'm not going to open my heart and show them that I love them. Is there anything worse than getting into a relationship and playing down your feelings from the start because you don't want them to get too attached, or you don't want you to get too attached? You don't want to overgive. You don't want to let them know who you really are and what you're really doing, so you hold back. You lie to them. You play a little game. You're playing mind games in the relationship, and it spirals out. So many of us play mind games in relationships without knowing it. Gonna go on a first date and let me do this is going to test them. This is going to test them. This is going to test them. You're creating tests in the relationship from such an early point that they just act as blockages, because you should be going in without any burdens. You should be going in to have a good time. You should be able to put your heart on a line immediately. And if you can't go into a relationship open-hearted and reciprocal from the start, then you're imprisoning yourself in something that doesn't exist. And you're waiting for a connection to mirror you back. That's not going to mirror you back, because if you're testing this person, like attracts like, they're testing you too. If you're holding back your true heart and really seeing what they can bring, and you're deliberately saying, I'm not going to pay for this, or I'm not going to do that, or I'm going to see how they show up, I'm going to see what they say when I say this, I'm going to deliberately do this or say that or behave in this way just to see what they do afterwards. That way I'll know them enough. That way that will be a test to see. You're attracting that vibration, which is low-key, manipulative and underhanded in pursuit. That means they're probably in that same vibration, or they feel that, then they think that you're not trustworthy, or that you can't. There's no stable footing if you don't let there be one. You're choosing to start a relationship on a seesaw, in a laboratory through experimentation, instead of just going, hey, let's meet on solid ground. This is me and this is you. Nice to meet you. This is what I do. What do you do? Meet on solid ground for once. That's what's going on here now. Because before, you was always eyeing up love from the distance, testing this person, not letting all your cards show, not wearing your heart on your sleeve, not putting all your eggs in one basket. Well, if you're not going to put all your eggs in one basket and you've got eggs all the way around the town, that's not really going to work realistically in the long run, is it? Because you're going to be busy going around to all of these different baskets to collect your eggs every now and then, see if they've hatched or not. And then there's a race of everyone else out here now waiting to see which one of these eggs is going to hatch first. Believe me, women's intuition knows when there's a man out there going around to every single basket playing around, waiting for one of the eggs to crack, because he's waiting for the perfect egg at the perfect time. You know? Manipulation. On both the men and women, and that includes me. I'm not speaking from a place of judgment. I'm speaking a place of knowing. Instead of me being committal in a relationship, I'll just date multiple guys. And most of the time I'm celibate and I'm not dating, but when I do, I'll just date multiple guys and I'll keep it really, really casual and light. That way I haven't got to put too much on the line. But then actually now I'm starting to catch really deep feelings for one of these guys, and I've got eggs in another basket over here. What am I going to do? They're aware I've got eggs in the basket because I said that from the beginning. Now they look at me as less than and feel intimidated by me because they've also got deeper feelings for me. We both didn't realise we were going to want more from each other. We just thought it was going to be a casual dating, laugh and a joke, right? A little friendship, a little bit of fun. And suddenly now we actually really mirror each other and see real kin shit. And you're seeing other people and I'm seeing other people, but we don't really want to see other people or feelings for each other or with each other, and now we've messed this all up, and now there's other people involved, and now we've got a karmic party that we created on us by ourselves, and none of us really want to admit and own how we really do feel about each other, because we started off acting chauvinistic, full of pride, acting like we didn't care for a serious relationship. We were too above a serious relationship, and now we want to put each other above everyone else, and we don't know how to even start to initiate that conversation because we acted like we really didn't need anything else other than what we had in the now moment. So the relationship falls to the floor. That's not happening anymore, because now you're showing up with everything you have to offer and you can own it, and they either meet you where you stand or you don't, right? You can wear your heart on your sleeve when you know that you are really who you are, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper, because God looks out for you, God loves you, and God taught you what? To love, to be one with your heart, right? The highest vibration of all in the spiritual community is what? Love. We're all seeking love. Give off love freely and you shall receive it back in kind, if it is so destined for you. And if it isn't, you'll realize that straight away and move on to the next. Surrender to that love inside of your heart and stop pushing it away, because your intuition knows what you deserve, and your intuition is waiting to just finally surrender and be loving. You can see if that vibration is or isn't a match pretty immediately. So don't overcompensate or play down who you are or what you're doing. Be you. Be you all the time. And that way you're going to attract someone who gets you and sees you. You know, it's so refreshing. And this is from me as well, right? What I will say is it feels so nice to be all of me. There's been periods in my life where I've had to fit in and be this way, fit in and be that way, not show all of my atypical, neurodiverse, clairvoyance, different gifts and abilities, my personality, my comedy, my sense of humor, my dirty, inappropriate innuendo sex jokes that I shouldn't be making, but the silly little things I do, my spirituality, and the fact that I'm really pretty much celibate and a nun all the time, but I like to make hoe jokes and act like I'm hoeing. I'm never really hoed, never hoed in my life, never done anything inappropriate, but I just understand the vibration of difference, and I just like to be stupid and weird and quirky, and I'm an alien and I'm out there and I just want to be me, right? Am I allowed? Am I allowed? And who am I asking? Who am I asking? I need to look in the mirror when I say that. Am I allowed to be me? Am I allowing myself to be me? Or am I playing games still? Am I in pride and ego? Am I going to let that guy think that I'm too good for him because that's the night I like it like that? Or am I going to open up and give that guy all of my time and effort because I genuinely see potential in that connection? Is love overflowing in me enough to share? Because you can't give from an empty cup. What have you got to bring to the table? How much love do you have in your heart? Right? Because before I was giving to all of these connections because I knew my cup wasn't running over. And even though I thought it was, yeah, wounded feminine, wounded masculine, they too have cups and their cup overflows. And it ain't nothing good coming out of sewage cups, right? Imagine you got 9 of cups but it's full of sewage. 10 of cups but it's full of sewage. That's the wounded vibration. That's the polarity of light tarot versus dark tarot. Yeah? You have you've got the Ace of Cups, right? You just met a new guy, love him. Oh my God, I'm crying. He's the one, we're going to get married. You think you're crying in joy, your cup's overflowing, but your cup's overflowing with sewage because you've just made a trauma bond. And this guy's a fucking liar. He's fraud. That's not even his real name. He gave you on his account. And he's actually got a whole secret family. And that's going to be a major karmic lesson that you learn a year from now when you wake up and realize he ain't who he said he was. Then you're going to have a breakdown. Welcome to the fucking polarity of dark and light tarot. Because sometimes we get into situations to learn. That's Saturn. That's Chiron energy as well. This isn't what we're having now, guys. This is what we've been through. This is what we're sailing away from. Bullshit, toxic relationships that for a window of time made us lose our hearts and never desire to love again, publicly, openly, genuinely. Because it was so painful to love last time. So why would I ever love again? My spiritual relationship, like my clairvoyant gifts and abilities, my awakening spiritually came from being cheated on publicly on social media. Whilst my boyfriend at the time was encouraging me to settle down, save money, constantly begging me to have a baby and get pregnant, I'm fighting off trying for a baby with this guy, saving money for a mortgage, and he's got a whole other woman I don't know about. He's actually having a baby shower the weekend, conveniently, that he can't make it to see me, which is really, really weird. And I'm like, what on earth's going on? He's having a baby shower that he's posted on Facebook without it being privated. That's how much care he had for me. I was humiliated, embarrassed, ashamed that would even be a public thing. We weren't friends on Facebook at that time. We didn't really connect on Facebook like that, use Facebook in that way. So he thought he was safe. Everyone's commenting on his stuff. Congratulations, congratulations. Oh, this is your baby shower. I know his brother. I've met some of his roommates, people he lives with. So I feel stupid. I met his family in Jamaica. Humiliated. He's out here publicly declaring this woman, never did before that day, but I guess the baby shower excitement really hit him hard. He had to post it to the public. Now, there we go. I'm the other woman. I'm the side chick. How fantastic. After that, I dived straight into spirituality. Went celibate. Didn't want to be with anyone ever again. Didn't ever think I was going to be with anyone ever again. Cried my eyes out. Cried my eyes out. Sobbing my eyes out. For ages. So I remember sitting in the front room by myself in a dark room, and my brother came home with all of his best mates, and my brother's younger than me, and they were all really quite young. They were like, I don't even know, but they're all younger than me, and they just walk into the front room and look at me, and I'm just going, and they're like, what has happened? I'm like, he's cheating on me. Like it's such a traumatic, ridiculous memory, and I've got all of my brother's friends and my brother just hugging me and patting me, going, you're gonna make it, don't worry, you're better than him, you don't need him, we were gonna have a baby, we were gonna move in together, he was the one, he said he loved me, I thought he was the one for me, how can he do this? Trauma. Just sat on the sofa wailing my eyes out, devastated. Changed my life. Because that was the first time ever in my life I realised people are not who they say they are. And anyone can be anyone and say or do whatever they want. And some people are genuinely disingenuous. And that scared me more than anything else. That's what dived me into spirituality, because I thought, I don't want to give myself away ever again. I don't want to have sex or be intimate or love anyone again. Before that, I never really dated. I didn't dive into relationships easily. I really settled down and just stayed with that one person. I really believed in that. I just wanted to have one man ever in my life that I married, that was my husband from the start. I didn't want more. I wanted to kind of lose my virginity to my husband and marry him, and that's that. And it never went that way. And that's what just stopped me in my tracks, and I had to rethink. Since then, a lot of different experiences have occurred, and I've shifted between ideologies of what is or isn't the right way to be a woman, a divine feminine, you know. I went on the divine feminine journey, and as a result, I'm here now and I'm wiser. And it's shifted me in major ways. We got to learn. And I'm so grateful I went through that, because God forbid I had a child. God forbid I played devil's advocate. God forbid I carried on seeing him like he desired. You know? We got to learn from the trauma that we went through in our lives and use it as stepping stones to success. That's all. It's painful, but we got to keep stepping. Because every time we cement something that was wrong and poorly defined in our reality, it just becomes a step that we use to get up and go again. Yeah? Fall down 9, but we get up 10, yeah? Keep going. You're beautiful and you're powerful and you're strong and you know it. And you're destined for so much more. And your future is going to be so amazing when you can wear your heart on your sleeve, knowing it's protected still. Wear your heart openly. Be all of you lovingly. Because you're going to see really rapidly who can meet that love and who can't. And that's all you ever need to know. Can they love me in the way in which I can love me? Can we love each other equally or not? It's okay if we can't. We haven't got to stay together. We haven't got to go on another date. We haven't got to keep trying, you know? But I'm going to keep loving. Because I work better when I love. I work better when I'm open. I work better when I'm all of me. So I'm going to keep being all of me. And it's okay if you can't be all of you. That's not a judgment on you. Yeah? We met for a reason. We had this window of time for a reason. And I'm going to ascend, as are you, in our own rates of exchange, at our own vibrational frequency. And I'm going to keep going. And I hope you keep going too. And I hope that we learn from each other during that cycle, if we did or didn't make it, you know. So let's keep going and let's keep loving to the point where we meet our destined other half, okay? Don't give up. Love is only a step away from trying.